Hi, my name is Quentin, and I've chosen to discuss time zones and the history behind them. I will be explaining the article, A Brief History of Time Zones, for my video today. Pre-time zone. Time zones were not implemented completely in the United States until 1918. Many states in the US had already been adapting the usage of time zones in the 1880s, but it's crazy to think that just over 100 years ago, there weren't mandated time zones worldwide. How did they tell time before this, you may ask? Nearly every town would have their own local time, which meant traveling to a new town would require you to change your watch to match the local time of the new town. There are even over there were even over 300 local times in the United States, which could obviously lead to lots of confusion. Clock towers. Clock towers are put up all over the world to show the local time in that certain town. Large cast iron bells were used to mark a new hour, and smaller bells would be rung on every quarter hour mark to signal the new time. This made it easier for locals to know the time and newcomers to the town to adjust to the local time. Sir Sandford Fleming. Thankfully, Sir Sandford Fleming had a great idea in 1878 to create worldwide time zones. 5 years later, various railroad companies began implementing this system throughout the states. In a meeting later, Greenwich, England was chosen to represent the prime meridian, which meant it would sit at 0 degrees longitude on the map. As I said earlier, this wasn't mandated until 1918. My thoughts on time zones. Obviously, the world has a lot more order now than it did pre-time zone, and I think that's great. My only wish is that the time zones followed more strict and straighter lines for those zones. For example, if you look at the map of North America here, the mountain region time zone doesn't touch California at all, but north of California in Canada, there is land that is west of California that is in the mountain region. And I wish this was in the Pacific region and it would make a lot more sense, but that's my only critique of the time zones, and obviously it's great that we have them.